You can just close your eyes to begin with, all of you. And I'm going to assume that you guys are all doing, taking the instructions and trying your best to follow through. I will not be able to see until you turn your videos on, which I hope at some point you will. So we'll start with just closing the eyes. However you're sitting, sit comfortably, no problem. I can't see, so I'm not able to give you instructions. Wherever you're sitting, just try to sit a bit tall. A bit tall is up to you. You know how tall your body is. So you see where is the max you want to raise, lift, extend, whatever that is. And breathe out through your mouth. Close your eyes. Just be grateful to be here. I know I am. Thank you all. Find your nostrils. Find your mouth. Become aware of just these isolated body parts of your body. We have so many beautiful gifts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers on one hand, another 5 on the other, 5 toes here, 5 feet. I mean, it's just unlimited how much we've been given. And so it's easy also to go into a wide lens and to just be in the wide lens and then take in more information from the outside and lose track of our own body, our own limbs and senses. And we want to do the opposite now that we're pregnant. We want to notice for now the mouth, the nostrils. Every time you breathe in, feel like, charged with this force that is entering through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And it should be an animated sound that you can hear, maybe others around you can hear. And that's a good thing because it just gives you, a little bit of that pressure that I have to pay attention when you make a little sound. Feel free to ask any questions at any point if you want to. So we're coming back to the face. We're trying our best to close the eyes. If we feel a little afraid with the eyes closed, then it's fine. We can keep them open. We can look at a spot, maybe without blinking if possible. Maybe one consistent spot so we build concentration. And if the eyes are closed, just feel the nostrils, feel the mouth. Let's continue with that for a bit longer. And be fluid, be light in your body. Don't hold tight anywhere. Gentle smile. Invite more gratitude for now more of the stuff that we have, like the senses. So notice the sounds. Notice your taste buds. Notice when the senses are attaching to something. Notice when they're drawing inward and they're not being triggered by anything around. So you'll feel this in a contrast. You'll feel moments where you are lost into something else, and moments where you are silent and lost into something within. It was nice Mary had her palms together at one point in the beginning. So let's get our palms together just to invite now the awareness into the fingers, into the hands. Just as we have isolated so far the nostrils, the mouth, your sense organs. Let's keep those in our attention. So keep noticing where your sense organs are focusing. Suddenly you might be aware of the touch in your fingers against your palms. So you know that is active. You might feel a taste somewhere in your taste buds, that's active. So notice when you're active externally, internally. And what is the difference? What is in, what is out? Is it different? Is it the same? Question that. Take a few moments to contemplate. Who am I? What is real? What do I care about? What will I give my life for? What do I know I just need to watch and witness and not get involved so that I get, caught up? Yeah, so start noticing, asking those questions to yourself. What do I want to commit to? And can I be consistent? Notice your heart region. So we keep isolating and we keep collaborating. Now we have the mouth. You can, even if you're not exhaling through the mouth, you can still be present with that region. It's always nice to be aware of your mouth, actually, especially when you're pregnant and you give birth, because it's directly connected to your cervix. So fun fact, when you're nice and loose and relaxed in your mouth, your cervix dilates easily while you're in labor. And of course, don't worry if you do it before that you're going to labor or something, not at all. It's just that point of time when you loosen your mouth and you do all these breathing techniques, or you sing, or you breathe out with the mouth loose. It's just, it connects directly and easily to your cervix. So just start to become familiar with being isolated in your attention at the mouth, at the nostrils always, because it's best to breathe in through the nose as much as you can. There's filters. So we're taking in the filtered air, which is good for the lungs. It also warms up in there. So just notice how much beauty and magic there is in the design of this body. And now with baby in there, notice the, okay, so just in case all of you are sitting with your legs too closed, I would request that just spread them out a little bit. You could even just keep one foot over the other thigh, like a half lotus, or you could sit with your legs crossed. Now I'm asking you to pay attention a little bit more in the lower body, so that we are not reinforcing the same, with our posture where before pregnancy we cross our legs a lot, or we stand with our feet too close. We sit on chairs and sofas where the feet are down. So that alignment isn't ideal for the pelvis now. While you're pregnant, it's not ideal. We want to balance the pelvis. We want to keep opening the hips. So just see if you can just stretch your hips, your legs, your thighs, your knees, and let loose. So come back to your smile. Think of a few things you want to be grateful for. Now you've contemplated, you've questioned, who am I? What is real? What is not? What is something I want to consciously be aware of and be involved with? And what is that which I can just witness and perhaps not react to? So notice your triggers, notice your realizations, and then think of 3 things that you want to be grateful for right now. With a smile, you can say it out loud. I'm grateful for the sun that shines in my room right now. I'm grateful for the health in my body right now. I'm grateful for breath that is flowing continuously within my being. I'm grateful for this baby that has chosen me, this life that grows miraculously within every moment. I'm grateful for my mother who's made me who I am today. Grateful for not being bored right now, which I hope you're not. I'm grateful for having a smooth pregnancy, or even having challenges that make me stronger. So keep thinking, keep saying out loud. Anyway, you're on mute, so it's your personal secret. Now we do this breathing technique where we join the teeth and inhale through the teeth. So see, we come back to the mouth. We can exhale through the mouth. And I know I said it's ideal to breathe through the nostrils, but this breathing technique is nice to encourage breath through the mouth. It's a cooling breath. So inhale through your teeth, see how that feels. Try to move the breath into your arms, into your fingers, your hands. If you're still in this mudra, if you've changed, you've gone somewhere else with your hands, no problem. Just keep breathing, feeling. Now let's become aware of the abdomen. So now bring your awareness. So we're isolating the abdominal region, and I'm not going to be able to check because the video is not on, but you are your best guide. So bring one hand to your navel center. You're still aware of your heart, your nostrils, your mouth, your sense organs, now your arms, yeah, and now at your abdomen and your legs, your lower body, you're aware of all this. Now isolate, zoom in, yeah, narrow, zoomed in your lens at your abdomen, your navel. You can place one hand there and see if the breath is actually going there or if it's all up in the chest. Because very often we don't notice and we don't put that extra effort here. So is there any movement when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out here? And I want you to ask yourself, when I inhale, what kind of movement is happening here? When I exhale, how is my body responding to it? Through the inhale, to the exhale. Inhale is the nostrils flaring, breath going in. Exhale is the breath coming out through the mouth or the nostrils. Inhale through the teeth, same thing, notice. Exhale through the nose or the mouth and notice. So when we're inhaling, let's try to see that this area has some movement that's like an outward movement, like a stretch, a spreading out. Yeah. All around the abdomen, the sides of your hip, the lower back, yeah, that whole region. See if there's some kind of expansion on the inhale. And when you exhale, feel the navel drawing inward. Just softly drawing inward. It might feel like, oh, is this safe? Is this okay to do? Am I okay to exercise these muscles? It is 100% safe. So just softly pull in when you breathe out and take your time. Another good trick is to put one finger here below the nostrils. And just when you breathe out and you feel the air releasing onto your finger, you feel that. Also pull slightly, softly in. Just be with this. Think of this as your mission, your main exercise, nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. Because this is the foundation of your breath. Your full yogic breath has this as the first part, abdominal breathing. So 80% of our oxygen is here, we get it here. And right now, you need to take in a lot of, long breaths, a lot of long breaths. Provide a lot of oxygen to the body. And just go into a trance, like baby, just visualize your fetus, your baby in there is not getting confused and stressed and distracted and driven by this choice and that choice. No, there's just simplicity. There is control. There is censorship going on down in there. So try to tune into that frequency. What's it like if when I was in the womb, as my baby is right now, what's it like if I can tune in? Imagine you had to give, when your babies are going to get to a certain age, you want to send them on play dates. Why? Because you want them to hang around with those of their age. So can you take on that role right now? If you just had to role play and you had to be that age in the womb, will you be content? Will you be okay with just the 1-2 things that you are being asked to focus on right now? Or do you want 25 more things right now? Do you want to multitask, or you're okay with just moving a few of your limbs? Maybe you just move your fingers, your toes. Maybe you just notice you move your shoulders, your neck, you move your head around because it's just nice and light and floating in there. So there's soft, easy movement happening. So can you take on that role and just accompany your baby as a friend? And like you did the Shraddha prayer, there's faith, right? Babies are choosing to trust that you exist outside and that you're there and that there is something beyond this space. They hear the sounds outside. So notice your Mind getting nice and calm. Your breath getting nice and soft. Wherever and whenever there's tightness, could be in the jaw, could be around the forehead, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But it's just out of patterns. We don't realize we suddenly frown. We're suddenly frowning. We're suddenly clenching at the teeth, in the jaw, we're tight. We don't realize it's not your fault, it's just habit. It's unconscious. So let's go into that unconscious and just catch it as soon as it happens. And say, aha, I see. But what for? Why am I frowning? What for? Why am I serious? Am I playing God? Do I have to rule the world? Do I have to take care of each and every being? No, great. I can play devotee of God. I can play the role of a friend or a, whatever your relationship is with the divine. And which means there's less pressure, which means, can I smile? Can I at least be of a nature that is pleasing to that creator, around the creator? Notice and imagine you are in the company of the divine, of God, of goddess. And if you see in all the statues around the world, if there is a statue, there is a murti, there's a smile. Why is God why can't they get tired of smiling? No, because it's a choice. It's a choice you make every day, every moment, that I will drop my fears, I will drop my anxieties. I will see what it's like to be light with a smile. I will see what it's like to be pleasing in my company, in the presence of God. And trust that if you call out, if you say, I am with God, God is with me, Goddess is with me, that it is. That is the ability, that is the power of the divine. It can be everywhere all at once with each one of us. So then why the insecurity? Why the doubt? Why the fear? Why the jealousy? No, there is no room for all of that. Only trust. So now you're being watched, right? Now you're being watched. And while you're being watched, even though you all have your videos of you still being watched, and while you're being watched, you're being sweet, you're being kind to that who is watching you, to that who is within you, and to the life that is thriving on your goodness, thriving on your emotions, being steady, being loving. So there's this really nice book, if you got your hands on it, The Secret Life of the Unborn Child. And there's so many studies and experiments done on how the child thrives on the beating, the sounds in the uterus, the sounds of the beating heart, and how that becomes a constant anchor. So you can imagine if you were in a room with only 2 or 3 possessions, you would rely on those possessions. You would cherish them, right? Maybe it's you just have the sun coming in, coming out. So you know there is rhythm, there is consistency, there is a law beyond the nothingness, beyond the darkness, beyond the emptiness. And that law is that, okay, I get this one sound coming in constantly, so there is something. So they're holding on to you as their anchor and the sounds that come from your body. So worship your body. Don't be for a moment upset with your body, unhappy with it, because that is what is your baby's anchor. And you want your baby's anchor to be a nice one, a pleasant one. So they're emotionally getting, so the nutrition that they get through words that come out of your mouth, that, hi, I love you. Just like if you had someone in a room for 9 months and you never knocked on the door and you never said hi, they'll feel a little bit, unless they chose to go for that long of Vipassana, they will feel a little bit like, oh, it would have been nice if someone said hi or someone just offered something. So that's why the sound of your voice is important, in loving tones. They don't exactly understand the language at this point of time, don't know the exact words until a point, then they can even understand that, but they can understand the tone and what it is. So if you're saying, I love you, I want you, I need you, you are divine, you are a gift of God, then no matter if you haven't eaten 2 days, they will still survive, because that nutrition emotional nutrition stands the test of time and all other conditions, all other circumstances. They're so compassionate. If you are crying, they're going to from inside want to console you. Can you imagine that? Can you see how evolved emotionally we are in the womb? And we take that for granted, and we just get so self-absorbed that it's my foot that's hurting and it's my body that's doing this, and I am the something, someone. No, no, no. Let's take all that away. Let's loosen our identity. Let's become one with, the frequency of the child, that we don't know. We just have one, two things, and we are looking forward to that. We're happy with that rhythm. We have that rhythm. We know something higher exists, something amazing, bigger than us exists, and we are just surrendering and trusting and letting the growth happen. Letting to be, or what is there, a lot of different options. Watch them come and go. Watch the discomfort come, watch the discomfort go. Similarly, watch the pleasure come and watch it go. And say, wow, there's nothing. Actually, there's nothing except for me to witness. Thank you, baby, for teaching me this. I will witness like you're witnessing. I will try not to be addicted to acting, to doing, to multitasking, to constantly getting triggered emotionally. Why do we constantly have to be feeling something? Why are we so addicted to feeling sad, happy, passionate, connected, angry, frustrated, fulfilled, satisfied, occupied, not bored, all of these things, all of these conditioning things? Let's be free of it. So smile bigger now. Move whatever you want to move. Just sway if you want to sway. Maybe you're on a chair and you want to just shake your leg. Maybe you want to lay back on your bed with some pillows, cushions. Just move your body in the way that no one is asking you. You're not in the hospital. You're not being pulled down. You have to be stuck to this bed. You have to be in the horizontal position. No, there are no rules. You can be however, wherever. Now visualize yourself visualize yourself questioning and actually question yourself right now as to what is my fear when it comes to this pregnancy, labor, childbirth. And if you have a pen and a book, or if you have a phone and you want to just write down, you can do that. Just a few words. Let's say, what is my fear? Okay, 3 words that come to your mind when you think of labor. Could be pain, it could be anxiety, it could be fear. And just keep breathing through it. Keep noticing what those words are. Write them down, feel them. And maybe later, if we can unmute at some point, you'll tell me what those are. We'll say them to each other and we'll perhaps get some closure on that. Because it's a big one. It's a big one. It's not necessary to carry those fears and anxieties. If you can dissect it, you can realize it isn't much, then it's a load off. One more step toward being simple with your baby in there. Start making the sound Om. Om. Okay, keep making the sound Om. I try to play out some flute. Let's go now to the next breathing point. So just in case some of you joined in late, we have discussed noticing, isolation, awareness, wherein you can just say, okay, here's my nose, here's my nostrils. I need to be present with this. Here's my mouth, I need to be present here. Here's my belly, I need to be present. Yeah. So you're isolating certain areas of your body. You're putting all your awareness there and you're just blissful. Okay, I'm here, I'm present, nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. I am confidently here. Okay. Because the moment you can have control of your mind, okay, the moment you can have control over your mind and you know, okay, now I'm here and my mind is where I want it to be, great. That is most of the battle won, right? Then the question will be what you entertain in your mind, how much censorship you apply, what you let it sort of, every now and then it might say, now I want a candy, right? So then when you let it go, what candy you give it, that will be the next part. But most of that will run if you can just tell your mind, come here, come to the nose, now be here. Okay, so we've done that. We've done nose, mouth, we notice the legs. I told you to just spread out the legs. Maybe, open the legs out wide if you're sitting. I asked you to sit tall a little bit, just noticing the spine. If you take support, you take support in a way where you're not closed from your thighs. At the same time, you're not totally curled at the spine. So for example, you can just, you can just sort of lift a little bit here and where your legs are, instead of closing and curling, you can just have your legs a little more open, wide. And that sort of is good for your basic posture and alignment of the pelvis. Of course, there's much more to it for another time. Then now we're coming to the second part of the breathing. We've done this part of the breathing where I asked you to put your hand here at the navel. And when you inhale, you let that expand. And when you exhale, you let it draw inward. So, and one technique was here where you put your finger under your nostrils. When you inhale, you feel the lift in your chest, you feel the expansion all around. And when you exhale, You feel the air coming onto your nostrils and you pull the navel in. So this is the basic revision of what we've done. Now, where is your second part of the full yogic breath? Is here, your chest region. So around your chest, your ribs, I want you to inhale, expand. So isolate this region now. And when you exhale, let this region softly contract, retract. Inhale, exhale. So oftentimes when I would have asked you to do this at the abdomen, you would have done it at the chest, because oftentimes we have quick, short breaths, nose to chest to nose. That's what we usually do. So now we are being encouraged to go nose to navel, belly, and belly to chest, and then out. Good. Same thing now in the third part. The third part is in the upper chest. So we've divided the chest into two regions, mid and upper. So upper chest is this region, your clavicular muscles. First, we use the abdominal muscles in the abdomen. Here we've used our rib intercostal muscles. Here we use our clavicular muscles. So just this section where you have your collarbones. Nice. Take as much as you can and exhale. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Same thing here. Do it now. At your control, the mind should come to the mid chest. All of this, and now at your control should come to the belly. These are your three parts. Now, when you combine them, you should be able to do 7 counts, 8 counts, 9 counts, 10 counts. If you can take away anything today from my session, I would like you to just take this much. Yes, it's about Garbhasanskar, about bonding. But if you can bond through breath, through control of your mind, then you can bond with emotions, you can bond with whatever you choose, your creativity process you can choose to bond with, right? But these will be your anchors, your foundations, your breathing technique, your main one breathing technique. We also in the beginning did this breathing technique with the teeth. Good, Mary, you remember? So now, Mary, you try to do this breathing technique with all these all the different parts of the body, right? When you inhale through the teeth, start at the belly, go to the mid chest, upper chest, and you see how full it is. You see, at least you're managing 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, right? Ideally, we can try to go up to 10, 12, 13, 14, whether it be Lamaze, whether it be hypnobirthing, whether it be yogic breathing. They're all going to say, whether it be movies you watch, all of them are going to say breathe. Now, they say breathe as though it's just something you should know, but you know, we take it for granted, and so we've forgotten how many breath muscles we have. Yeah, so all these parts have breath muscles. Even when you flare your nostrils, you can take a little more air, right? So flare the nostrils, take that air, or when you breathe through the teeth, keep going. And don't be scared. Any pressure, any effort is not at all of concern, okay? It's not of fear. Don't be afraid that the baby will be hurt, damaged, blah, blah, nothing. Exhale. Imagine time is slowing down. You're on that slow motion option and you're just watching everything will move slowly. Same way now for the next few breaths. Now slowly exhale. Use your hands, all of us, like this. Like this, Mary, where we're going up from. So this is a technique in Qigong, right? Where as though you're carrying 2 balls of energy in your hands. You're going up to your shoulders. You could go to your head and then through the nose or the mouth. Slow. The slower you move your hands, the slower you move your breath. Yeah. So you connect the body to the breath, to the mind. Again. And ladies, as you do this, become aware of your pelvic floor. See, when the mouth is relaxed, the pelvic floor is soft and released. See, when you breathe like this, just notice the area around your vagina. See how soft and loose it is. That's what you need to be able to control. Along with the mind control and that emotions, you need to control your pelvic floor muscles and specifically your pelvic floor muscles. So that when you're told by the doctor to push, you know, I have to let loose. I know with your practice, you'll know, okay, I know the difference between tightness and softness. So feel the softness. Then some point of time, do your Kegel muscles. I don't know if you know of Kegels, but you have to do your tightness at the pelvic floor where you squeeze and engage your pelvic floor muscles. Like when you resist the urge to urinate, you know how you squeeze and you hold. So keep that, see, notice what that's like. Then let it go, notice what that's like. Belly breathing, chest breathing, simultaneously. Nostrils flared. And by now, you must all figure. And if not, no problem, take your time and still get it right. But when you inhale, you fill up the lungs, everything is expanding, stretching, releasing. When you exhale, you can center in, soft going inward, soft contraction of the chest towards the spine, the navel, abdomen towards the spine. Okay, so you're doing this with the movement of the arms. Now, Shivani, what do you think? Will everyone turn their video on by any chance? Is there any point in asking for the sake of me checking the breath? Because it would be really, really good if I know that your technique of this inspiration, expiration is, you know, a good take.
Everyone to please switch on the videos so that Kadambari can see you and guide you. It's a humble
just for
request.
I just want to see this much. From the navel to the upper chest. Even if I don't see your face, I guess I can do without. So this much. Reason being, then I can just check if you are, when you inhale, if I need to just insist that you have some kind of other techniques. For example, like when you put your hands here, Mary, when you put your hands here, or like place your hands here on the navel area. And when you breathe in, you can even put a little effort. So there's like a little resistance being created, you know? Yes. Now, are you breathing in when you did that or breathing out? Okay, you're taking a breath in and now you're breathing out and it's going in. Wonderful. Breathing in, expand, breathing out. Hi, Shraddha. Let me see the belly region. You can put your hands there so I can also notice the movement. So breathing in, can I see that movement going out? Breathing out. So do the opposite. You see how when you were breathing out, you just dropped. So your breath out was, Mary, you're doing good. Keep it up. So when you were breathing out, Shraddha, there was like this happened. Okay. So what you do now is when you breathe out, do this. You see this, it's going in. When you breathe in, like, imagine you're like spreading out all the way, like your arms are out there like a goddess, you know, and you're there in your full power. So let it come out. When you breathe out, squeeze inwards, like, yes. Keep trying, let me see. It's coming. Breathe out. Yes. Same thing do at the chest. When you breathe in, you can even move your hands in these directions. It really helps. Suggestive, you know, movement helps. And then breathing out is like, this is going in, this is going in. Your, you know, the energy is going downward. Yeah. So inhale, go out. Shraddha, it's coming. Good. Keep this going. I'll keep checking. Who else? Shubhra, you want to show? Gitanjali, Nisha? You can just turn on, turn off. It can just be a quick, if you want that. Nisha, Samiksha.
Yes, ma'am. Good. I can do.
Say again.
Yes, ma'am. I do. I do the best.
You're doing it correctly, Shubhra. Is that what you said?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So that's nice. And you're using all these three muscle groups, no? The abdominal muscle group, the rib cage muscle group, and the upper chest. Samiksha, you're getting it right? Nisha, Gitanjali?
Yes, ma'am. Doing it right.
Wonderful. So in your usual breathing, if you all can just tell me with your microphone off, I mean on, unmuting basically. If you all can tell me in your usual breathing, are you all having any challenges? Now that you know this is one way of breathing, can you tell me two things? One is like how long is your breath going when you inhale, when you exhale? And two is, are there any challenges?
Yes, so when we are not focusing, the abdominal movement is not as it should be.
Right.
And then the breaths are very short, as in like when we are not focusing on them, we might not be inhaling properly and neither exhaling completely.
Well said. That's right. And so in a day, how many minutes would you say roughly that you can commit to being conscious of it to the point where it's in your control?
I would say for the time when I practice my yoga, At that
Okay.
time only I'm conscious, or maybe when I'm lying down, going to sleep, some portion of that time. Yeah, otherwise
Yes.
it's history.
Okay. So then you are invited to put forward to yourself, what is the maximum amount of time? How can I add a little more time? And what is it that can change in my lifestyle for me too? Right? So if you said, okay, it's when I do my yoga. So can I have yoga happening in my day? I don't know, let's say a total of 2 to 3 hours instead of 1 hour, if that's what it is now. Or if you're doing 3 times a week, can I say make it every day at whatever amount that it is, 1 hour every day? So you set for yourself a certain amount of time space within which it is in your control. Yeah. And you are sitting, lying down, walking, whatever. And no matter how many distractions come, a conversation, a phone call, some post you see on your social media, whatever those distractions are, out of habit, which we react to, respond to, in that time, it is that, no, my mind is in my control and it's coming. Is that something, is that a fair thing to ask, Gitanjali? Is that something you can do?
Right, ma'am. Can be.
Yeah.
That.
So what do you announce as? Let's let the universe hear it. Let's make it an affirmation.
Yeah, so I already do it daily, but then yeah, I can be more conscious of it, rather than, I would say, at idle times when I'm just sitting or relaxing or doing or watching. So that ways I could be more conscious and focus on breath as well.
Okay, so that's what your affirmation is then. I am more focused in my idle times, and therefore your idle times can increase. You know, the universe will say, okay, you are taking this one step, and I will take the one step in reminding you in those idle times to just do what you want to do, what you have asked for, right? So you're making that affirmation. How about the others? Something you would like to say out loud or to yourself? Anyone want to say out loud? What could that be for you, Mary?
I'm constantly rolling my shoulders back to create more space in my lungs.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful affirmation. We can all say that. I'm constantly rolling my shoulders back to create more room in my lungs. That's so nice, because posture is definitely connected with the breath. And when you're pregnant, the more length you have in the body, in your posture, especially here, the more space and room for the baby to grow. So know how many benefits there are in all these small little things that you do for your baby's experience. Make the baby's experience pleasant in there, that there's room to move, there's room to explore. Within those few things that are explored, there isn't that many limitations, you see? Because already there are limitations. The space is limited, the how much they can see, do, everything is limited. So, but within that, to say, oh, I'll make it pleasant by keeping in mind this aspect where there is length in my body. So as soon as I find myself, like Gitanjali said, when I'll be doing my yoga practice, when I'll be watching TV, similarly, you all can say when I am, like Mary has said, rolling my shoulders. So you can make another affirmation for your posture. Whenever I get a chance, I will try to sit straight, for example, right? I will roll my shoulders back. I will extend my arms out. I will give more length, yeah, to my body, and therefore more room and space for my baby, right? So come, let's bring our hand here at the heart center like this. Let's close our eyes and just such simple promises we're making to ourselves, such tiny little simple promises. And that's beautiful because we're going in the frequency of simplicity with the baby. That's a nice theme we got. So I am conscious, I am aware, I am in control. Of my posture, my mind, my commitments, my breathing, my emotional connection with baby, the relaxation and appreciation of my body, now join your palms, stick your arms over your head. So we're maintaining length again. You see how there's length, and say, oh. Then make the sound ooh. So I'm introducing you to 5-6 sounds, and each one of these you can do, and they've got a lot of benefits. Yeah. Say the next sound is a, and it'll always also remind us to become familiar with the mouth being loose, right? We need to be aware of that. The next sound is O, just the O without the ma, right? O. Next is A, and when you make the sound A, it's said this particular mantra power. They say that just visualize all your problems going away. So it's good to become familiar with your sound, become more accepting of your voice. The baby is going to thrive on it. So please do. The next sound is and the last sound is with a m. So bring your hands down. So what are the sounds, Mary? It's on mute. One is O. Then we had U, A, O, and awesome. Okay. Great. So now we can just we can do a little movement soon. Perhaps if all the videos come on, it's easier for me to invite movement because I can see. Until then, any kind of questions, anything particular that you would want to discuss, learn, ask. If there is something, please, let's go there. If not, then no problem. What say, Shivani? Should there be some questions, answers? Otherwise, there is a simple one that I can even do with the video off where there's a strap required. It's an upper body just opening routine. So I could invite that for us. Y'all would need a strap, and hopefully you get the instructions right and you do them correctly. Yeah. So do choose. If you want to speak, then we speak. Otherwise, you can, if you have a dupatta, like a long type of dupatta. I know you might have a strap like an elastic band, but preferably something that's cotton or any material like a softer one. If you have that, we can do some of it. And if you just want to watch and then do it later on your own, that's fine too. Okay, Mary, I'm going to start. Shivani, all okay?
Yeah, Kadambari, all good.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to go twice the shoulder width distance like this. Okay, and you'll wrap the strap like this between your thumb and your palm. And while we do this or any workout, remember the breathing. Yeah, don't let go of it. That's your anchor. Don't let go of your full yogic breath. So first we're going twice the shoulder width. Then what you're going to do is you inhale, so you maintain resistance. Yeah, pull the strap in opposite directions at all times. Don't let loose. Inhale, go up over the head. Now we might, when we go back, we might want to adjust a little bit. So we'll get there. We'll see. When you go back, if your elbows bend, then we'll change the posture of the strap. We'll increase the length. But if your elbows aren't bending and you're managing to go back nicely, then you go back. Inhale up. So only main rules here, or the main things to be mindful of are one, that Mary, the chin, the neck is as steady as possible. So we're going again with the principle of isolation. Isolate the nostrils, the breath awareness, the arms, and try the second one is your neck, your chin, and the spine. So you see from the side angle, I'm not going to do this in order to accommodate the lack of strength in my arms. I would rather encourage the arms by doing fewer repetitions to still work hard. Yes, you'll feel the burn in your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands, your wrists, your neck muscles, your back muscles, you see? But without much movement of the chin and the torso. There isn't any movement. Isolated in the arms. And the breath goes in when you go up and breath comes out as you come down. Inhale up. Exhale. And at all times, I'm keeping the strap tight. So you might at some point become loose, but don't try your best to keep it tight. Even if it means you do 5 instead of 10 repetitions, try to keep the tightness, keep it tight the whole way through. Up tight, back tight, up it's tight, and down it's tight. So this is a full movement. You're coming up from your thighs, your abdomen, and you're going back. Coming up. And remember, when you get a little bit bored because it's monotonous, when you get a little bit tense or a thought comes in that creates tension, that triggers your emotion, or when you get distracted because someone comes into the room or whatever, shift your breath so that you're constantly with yourself. You don't let your mind distract you. So for example, I'm doing this and someone suddenly comes and I'm going to say, oh, great, I got an excuse to just leave my, my attention. I got the excuse to multitask. Then you come back and you say, no, I'm here, I'm committed. Remember your affirmation and change the breath. So we were doing inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So suddenly go inhale through the teeth and see how the vigor comes back, the attention comes back. Yeah. So you have got your mind again by changing the breathing technique. Then you can go with another breathing technique, which is called a horse breath, like this. Yeah, you can try this. When we were kids, we would have done that telephone ringing impression with this sound, right? So you can just go with that sound when you're going exhale, like inhale, exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale. So it softens, loosens your entire, cheekbones, your jaw, everything. So again, your mind becomes relaxed, your body becomes relaxed. So don't give your mind a chance to say, oh, the body is in discomfort, oh, there's something better to do, something else to do, and so I'll just skip this. No, you give your full attention and you see how the results come. Yeah. So this is one. The second one that you do is reduce the strap to about a little bit wider than your shoulders. You see? Yeah, this much. So what we'll do is here, we go up. Then we bend one elbow and we look over the other shoulder. So right elbow is bent and it's not so much to the side, it's going upward to the sky. And this is going at a diagonal and you're looking over the shoulder. Then you're going up again and you're coming down. So you complete it down. You go up, keep it tight, go in the opposite direction. Then you go up, keep it tight, come down, keep it tight. Don't let your breath get held for longer than 5 seconds, not required. Maintain a rhythm, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Enjoy, smile, close your eyes, breathing in, opposite side, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And remember what we discussed earlier, why do we constantly want to be stimulated? Why do we have to feel something all the time? Why do we have to invite some thought all the time? Why are we so afraid of being lonely, empty, quiet, silent? Right? So whenever you close your eyes and you're going from side to side, don't let a frown get the better of you. Don't let a thought, a feeling that brings you down get the better of you. Just become blissful like Buddha. We're so blessed and privileged that we can have some control over our environment. We can have shelter above. We know we can turn on the fan if we want some coolness or the AC, whatever. So we are privileged. Therefore, we should not be spoiled brats and we should not forget that we're being watched and we're being loved and we're supported and we can be pleasant. It's a choice. Okay. So this is one. So we're going this as a full up, side, up, down, up, side, up, down. If you start moving faster, let the breath go faster also. In, out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Yeah. So that there is constantly an awareness of movement and breath synchronizing. Yeah, they're not separate. So then automatically you'll start enjoying your practice more because it's not mindless, breathless performance. Yeah, it's all connected. And once you see the connections, you'll start enjoying. Once you invite gratitude, you'll enjoy. When you control your mind from going into something, automatically you'll notice your true nature, which is enjoyable, which is blissful. Third one is where you reduce the strap now to shoulder width distance. You see this much. I'm going up here, same from starting from your thighs, your belly, and towards the back of your neck. And you see from the side profile, again, you're not going to lift your chin, drop your chin, try too hard. Keep everything in that nice, same long posture. Let the strap also not drop. Don't take a break so quickly. Try harder. Stop here. Pull with your breath. So use the power of your breath. Just like when you do weightlifting, how much you carry, how much weights we carry because of the power of the breath. So the power of the breath, up, down, exhale, up, inhale, down, exhale. Close your eyes, smile, and tell yourself, I'm not losing out. There's no FOMO. There's no feeling of missing out or losing out if I'm not constantly triggered by what's happening around me, and by being here and being there and being present and constantly collecting more and more experiences and constantly being stimulated in my senses and mind. But that I can be content with what I have, with stripping off all these layers of want and need and desire and restlessness. Because already right now there's a lot of vata happening in your body, which is movement of air, which is in the Ayurveda person would have said, there's a lot of air, there's restlessness, there is a lack of, there's sometimes an inability to decide something, you might feel confused, all of this happens, right, with the excess air. And also there's so much movement happening for your baby's growth every day. So you balance yin and yang, there's so much happening in there. You don't have to be constantly everywhere and doing everything. You can just say, okay, it's my time to unwind, it's my time to balance the extra activity that's going on. You see, your brain is working constantly, your heart is working constantly to focus, sending all the blood to baby, sending all the oxygen flow to the baby, so that the baby can grow well, because the body is so intelligent, so clever, knows that baby is priority and the growth of the baby is priority. So you don't get that. That's why we say pregnancy brain, because the brain itself, you tend to forget something or the other. You tend to have less blood in, left in for the brain. So you have to be kind and gentle to the body and say, okay, it's fine for me to not be catching up on everything right now in this phase of my life, but that time will come. Yeah. And so if I need to just rest a bit longer, if I need to hold my back and just massage it, another good practice is to start massaging your belly. Forget the stretch marks, do it for the bonding, massaging the body, the arms. Yeah, just 2 minutes, 5 minutes in the shower before you bathe, before you put water, just rub some oil. Get your favorite mix blends. Every day you can change the blend. All of this body care, self-care is going to go a long way. Yeah. Even oil pulling. Yeah, so again, you get the mouth to feel a little more loose. Yeah, so be aware constantly through the day that, okay, I'm acting out of conditioning, out of habit, or I'm acting out of being in the moment. Right now, I'm choosing to be angry in this moment. And then you should also have the power to choose to drop it in the next moment. Okay, so it should be a role you play in the moment, and it shouldn't be something that plays you. Okay. So please make that your next promise, your next affirmation, that for the sake of my baby's well-being, I will be emotionally beautiful. Okay? I will be emotionally beautiful. For the sake of the well-being of my baby, I will be pleasant, emotionally pleasant and beautiful. And Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji says, fake it till you make it. So if it has to feel like a faking it right now, it's okay. It'll change with practice. Yeah. Okay, next, we've done 3 of these now with the strap to get your opened here, right? Just feeling a little bit of openness here, some strength in your arms. You get your blood flowing nicely in the arms with this routine. So you can do this safely every day. Now, lower body. I'm going to remove the camera somehow and show you a few things that you do with your lower body for your posture and for your exercise. Let's move this camera somewhere lower. So how many of you are usually sitting on chairs? And how many of you are sitting on beds? And how many of you are sitting down on the floor? We can do all. Yeah, we can show all. Okay, so for those of you who are sitting on a chair a lot, like this. So you're sitting on a sofa or a chair or whatever, then you can, one is this, right? You just stretch out. Okay, you keep your legs wide. Now from the knee to the ankle, you try to keep it at a right angle. So for example, this chair can go up and down, right? Like, so if I'm this high, my feet are not touching the floor, they're just about touching. this angle is not ideal. It's like this. Then if I'm going to go to this level, it's a little more ideal. I feel my feet are nicely grounded. My toes are turned outward. And from the ankle to the knee, I'm feeling a right angle. Here I'm comfortable. If I go too low, then if I go lower, like for example, if you get a pregnancy ball, which is recommended, if you have the chance, do get one. So if you have the pregnancy ball as well, you try to keep it in one right angle from here to here to here. Yeah. If you let me know what height you are, I can share what size of ball that you need to get. I think Shivani will share my number with all of you, or you can take it from me. So that's one option when you sit. Every now and then, widen and be even off the support. Like right now, you have the choice of the support. Now, if I take the support, I might end up doing this, right? Which is good in the break every now and then. But otherwise, try to come back to a lift. And if your chair, your sofa is too soft, then sit on a little cushion to just increase a little length. Because the moment, I'll show you that in when I do the seated, how to increase the length there. So one is this. Now, while you're sitting and working, you can also take a break from that into this, where there's still some distance. And this is what I was talking about earlier, that half lotus option. So it's just one foot on the other thigh. And this is a nice stretch for when you sleep, you get tight here. You have to unfortunately sleep on only sides. For a lot of you who are used to sleeping on the tummy or the back, it must be a struggle. But again, with the right sleeping pillow, which I can again recommend to you, which has weight, you can sleep more on your belly, you can sleep more on your back, because that is very, very supportive. So the pain only in the sides can be reduced. But in any case, you can do something like this for opening up here for that tightness there. Also, we walk, and when we're walking like this. So again, these muscles are just getting more and more tight. So you have to do something every day for this to loosen, right? Like this, for example, if you're sitting on the opening up here like this, a few squats, just soft ones up and down. Standing, you can do this pose, where you're going out to the side, but don't take your entire torso and go necessarily like this. Keep it nice and tall here and just go on the one side, where you get the stretcher. So again, I don't know if I want to invite too many yoga postures here, but because I want to check your posture if I do. So maybe another time. Okay, so these are your basic ones for the legs to be open and for the length and space in the body when you sit on a chair or a sofa. And then every now and then when you go back, you can try to do this when you go back. Keep your arms up, because then at least you're not putting all the weight down from your chest to the navel. See, when I'm going up like this and I'm leaning back, there's a lot of room in the chest to breathe. There's a lot of room in the navel area. There is a lot of length, and it's not a complete curled spine. It is giving the support. At the same time, it is pushing from the lower back to the belly. So use your arms. Even during labor, it is encouraged. Shivani might know this, but it's so fascinating that even Gita Sayangar ji has in her book shown, ropes, how helpful they are during labor. So when you're on a birthing chair or you're in a seated squat and you're holding on to ropes, it's so helpful because you're working with gravity. At the same time, your arms, because they get tired and you're just, the back is hurting. So the back is not really supporting the upper body, and the arms, because it's in pain, the lower back. At the same time, you're already in pain here. So you're adding more weight when you squash, into the lower part of the body, in the belly and back. So you hold on to something and give the upper body support from the top rather than the bottom. So this is some of the stuff. Now, sitting. If you are sitting down on the floor or if you're sitting on a bed, would be similar to this. Cushions, pillows also are really good if you have a couple of bolsters. That's a wonderful couple of props that you can have. When you're sitting, you sit on a little cushion. Okay, here there are some options. So if one is like a regular pillow, you sit on the edge like this. Okay, so I'm sitting on the edge. So it's not like center and dropped, but it's edge and lift. Push from here, lift from here. And therefore you will have a lift all the way through. See, there's a lift here and all the way up, there's a lift. Okay. So otherwise what happens, the lower back gets tired, then you either want to take a full back support, and when you take the full back support, you go completely curled, Or when you're sitting without this thing, you might end up having tailbone pain, this pain, that pain. Yeah, so just very supportive during your pregnancy. As the first rule in all my sessions, first thing I'll say, check that you have a nice cushion, pillow, bolster even, and sit on it, okay? Sit on it. And when you sit with your legs crossed, you can sit instead of always like this, which we're used to, swastikasana, you can go slightly wider. You see this? Compared to this, it has a little more opening here for you, right? You'll feel more open in the hips. And then when you come towards the end of your pregnancy, you'll only be comfortable in butterfly like this. So you'll see the stages, you know, as your pregnancy progresses, there'll be times you'll be comfortable only in this, there'll be times you'll be, this is good. You'll always be comfortable from day one to the end. So please try to start working on this. And if it means your hips are tight and one knee is lifted as you do, just pull something, cushion, pillow, start giving it a little support at the edge. So then when you sit like this for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, swap the legs. So now my right is ahead. I'll bring the right inside, bringing the left outside. Got it? So swap it so that the pelvis is balanced. Otherwise, again, what tends to happen is we're putting too much weight onto one side. And imagine a hot air balloon with the ropes. If it is, you know, not aligned, it's not going to really fulfill its purpose. So same way for the body, when it is aligned and it's happy, it's going to be able to give you the best. So swap, if you've sat 5 minutes that way, swap, you'll get 5 minutes of that. So these are your sitting, even when you're sitting on a bed or a sofa or something, you can still get your legs up and you can do this, okay? Then there's also butterfly, and sit on the cushion, no harm. Even for butterfly, sit on the cushion. When you do your butterfly, you don't have to come so close and do this like you do in general yoga classes. No, increase the length. Remember, when you're pregnant, take more space in the room. Yeah, you're two, you're not one. So if there is a chair, where there is a bench where there are 2 seats, take 2 seats. Sit in a way that you have that entire space for you. Do not try to be squashed. Then you will wonder, why am I getting cranky? Why am I getting restless? Why am I getting pains? It's because you are not adapting and molding your basic posture alignment to accommodate to. What else? Sitting, you have this, you have the seated posture, the length we've discussed. Now, maybe I can lead a few postures if I can see, if you all turn on your videos. Otherwise, I think it's time anyway, and I can play some flute and put you all in a nice quiet meditation space. We can chant something and we can end that way as well. Okay, so let me know. Also, seated squat is good. So when you all are moving nowadays, however, you walk, you walk a little bit wide. When you lift something, don't go like this, go like this with a lift here, lift in the belly, pushing out of your knees, put a lift at the hip, like we do a cat and cow. So go into that posture and then lift whatever you're lifting. So again, you'll start building strength in your legs and you'll always maintain space and room here. So even when you're, moving around in your house, you don't have to stop your movement, just make your movement more big and spacious and your emotions beautiful and pleasant. So come, you can close your eyes, relax. Say some Oms to center back in. Just process all of this information. It may seem like it's not much, but it's quite a lot. And if it seems like a lot, remember it's not that much. So just let it process. Close your eyes. Trust. Come back to what we started. We are going to trust. Just like baby's trusting you, you are going to trust. You are a child of God too. You're going to trust your God, your goddess. Bring your mantra. Protect your mind. So now we'll say some nice, happy, positive things. Okay. Sangeeta, Gitanjali, Dr. Pradnya, Nisha, Shraddha, Mary. Okay. Imagine being embraced by goodness, by divinity, Shivani, by all things powerful, all things well-wishing, and unlimited, Ananta, Ananta Vasudev. We'll sing Vasudev prayer today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Simple. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Try that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And you know, when you're seen by an all loving presence, how you want your family also to see that presence. You want that presence to be around you. So imagine you are being seen by that presence. You're smiling, you're pleasant, just like all the saints and rishis. They smile and they sing praises to God. So if you're not actively singing, doesn't mean you're not connected with God. No, each and every one of us is connected by right, by birthright, by eternal right, irrespective of what form we're born in. And therefore, it is not something you should question, doubt, feel bad. Oh, but I have not done any mantras or gone to any spiritual spaces all my life. I don't have a connection with God as so-and-so person does. And maybe that's why I should be in the background. No, you just smile and let God decide whether front, back, blah, blah. All that you don't have to. Don't think of it as school conditioning ways. Think of it in unlimited, a very, very positive light, and visualize you're just showing your baby off, you're showing yourself off, and that there is no criticism, no judgment, no one around you're worried or embarrassed about. That's one key thing that we need to know, never to be embarrassed. Whether you pick up a hobby, you pick up an interest, you pick up some words, you say, drop it. Okay, I said something I didn't like, I stressed, I didn't like. Don't hold on to it and make a whole narration and sas bahu drama about it. Just say, yeah, it happened. Okay, I drop it. I'm better now. Next time, in fact, take that as an opportunity for the next time. I'm going to really take on that challenge better. So first, I'm always going to have the choice to be seen and to agree being watched, and to know that who's watching is not judging. So Om Namo. Try to sing if you like. You're on mute. It's your personal song to your baby. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And bring out the child in you, because you're going to have to be playful for your baby. Otherwise, they'll rely only on gadgets and cartoons, and all your time will go off into screen time. So if you want to be a presence in your child's life, you have to learn to be little playful, little active, sing, dance, be in the frequency of your child. Okay, so come on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And we're so blessed at this time and age. We don't have to follow rituals in a certain way. If we make blunders, it's okay. When we just embrace with a very pure, sincere heart. That's one of the best things about this time for us. So don't think, oh, I'm not sitting right, but I shouldn't be moving. It's not mantra chanting what we're doing. When we sing to God, it's kirtan, it's bhajan. And in that, there are no rules. You can even do it in the bathroom. You can do it in any situation while you're sleeping. And so therefore, God has come out of all limitations and boundaries to say, come, let's celebrate together. And you don't hold back and say, but I haven't bathed, but I've sinned, I drank something which was not, whatever that may be, or I spoke something bad, oh, but I haven't sat and, lit the fire. No need for all that, rules and regulations. Just be free with your sincere heart and see how God will come and just protect you, holding your baby's hand in your hand. See how powerful that is. Okay. So now we'll together, if you all have been sitting with your legs crossed, swap your legs, because like we said earlier, yeah, bring the foot that is ahead, bring that inside, bring the foot that's outside. Thank you, Mary. And now we'll and one side will feel uncomfortable because you're used to always standing a certain way, sitting a certain way. So when you swap it, maybe if you have it not in the practice, you might feel uncomfortable. But remember to give your body 5 seconds, 10 seconds when you suddenly feel something is not right. Don't just panic, flight, react. Give it 30 seconds of your contraction, then gaps, long gaps. So again, if you have written pain in your words for labor, remember that the pain is not continuous. It comes, it goes. You'll have the feeling for 10, 20, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, then you will have nothing. While there is nothing, don't carry the drama with you. Drop it, forget it that anything is going on, and just be happy in that moment. Don't get addicted to stress, addicted to pain, addicted to carrying the emotion of I am wronged, I am a victim, I am doing something great by giving birth, and therefore I should be treated like I'm doing a favor, and so everyone should fuss over me. No, make it soft, graceful, beautiful, light, effortless. Even if you have to fake it to do it, because later on you will thank yourself and everyone around you will be inspired. In that moment, you will feel I am not getting that glamorous attention, but in the hindsight, you will look back and you will say, I was so powerful in my subtle, graceful way. Okay, so try. And of course, if you have been every now and then you have to scream and let go, no problem. Don't judge and be hard on yourself either. So coming back, where were we? We were talking about just swapping the legs and thinking of any moment in those when you swap your legs, when you suddenly do the third squat after the second one and you feel pain, when you're doing your arm exercise and you do the 7th one and you feel pain. Give it 2 more seconds, 3 more seconds. In those 2-3 seconds, try the breathing technique. 1, you've learned today. Exhale, you've learned today. The full breath you've learned. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose or through the mouth. Closing the eyes, you've learned how to be in control of your emotions and affirmations. You'll say something to yourself. So you have lots of tools with which you'll take your mind for in those 2-3 seconds. Instead of reacting, fighting, flighting, you'll take it to a place where you put on some music, maybe you'll laugh, maybe you'll smile, maybe, right? You'll bring your hand to your heart and you'll give your body the support that you wish someone else would have given you. You'll think of God, you'll say your mantra, you'll sing, yeah? You have Om, U, A, E, U, lots of that. So remember everything we've done today. Feel free to be reminded by getting in touch with me if you forget anything, and say that I have. Now be in the full power, empowered mode for the next few moments. Put your palms together and say to yourself, I have the power. I have the knowledge. I am the power. I am the knowledge. I have the simplicity. I am in simplicity. I have divinity. I am with the divine grace. Being, if you have a relationship with form, with God in form, I have this person with me. I have this friend of mine with me. If it's with a presence, I have that presence, that light, that aura with me. Okay, so I am, I have. I am strong and courageous. I have the courage and strength. I am supported. I have the support. And take responsibility within the I have. That means you are going to remind yourself. You're going to give it to yourself. I have the love. I am the love. I am loved. I am balanced. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am being healed. I am being protected. I am content. That's a big one. Today we have so many choices, and it's an illusion that makes us discontent. Just go back to when you were young. We are all luckily in the generation where we remember we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have internet. We had such simple conversations with our friends that made us happy. Basic things made us happy. Something we loved drinking and eating. Our favorite food made us happy. So always remember all of these extra choices we have today in comparison to we had then. We are so blessed. We have a comparison. the next generations don't. And so it becomes more of our responsibility to tell the next generation that most of these choices you'll get confused with are only new. They have something new, it's a new thing that's come into our world, but our world was happy and content without them. And you need to be in your foundation content with yourself, with your company, with your awareness, with how many things we have. We have so many fingers and toes, right? We have so much health. We have nice strong legs, we have nice strong arms, we have a neck, we have a brain that works for us so well, right? So we have to always be grateful for all of that. So there's this beautiful song which we don't have time for next time. We have only 3 to 4 minutes, which I would like to now focus on as speaking. If anyone wants to go off mute and speak and ask anything or share how you feel, what was a highlight for you, what you liked, what you got bored with, because I love that negative feedback as well. So please share. Come on, please, please, please. Who's going to start? Mary? Shivani?
Thank you, Kadambari. A beautiful session.
I always believe, and God's grace.
I always believe emotional nutrition to the baby comes from mother. So mothers, it's important to stay happy and healthy. And today Kadambari has shared some of the beautiful techniques to keep our mind in bliss.
Oh, God's grace. Thank you. I don't take the credit. I give it, pass it on. But I appreciate so much that you that is what experience that God is something. If you
I think, Kadambari, we lost your voice because of some internet glitches. Can you repeat again?
I was saying thank you so much. I don't think
Yes, Kadambari is back again.
Yes, Shivani, thank you. I was saying that thank you so much for sharing. I don't take the credit. I pass it on to God, Goddess. And I was saying that it's really helpful to know how you experience, because it's so tough. Like as a teacher, you know, when you're in the process of sharing, you don't know how they are receiving. So it's really so helpful to know that, okay, this was the experience that you had. For me, come up, like we discussed, the blood is not flowing all to all parts of prioritizing the baby. Their opportunity you get, take a leg, the swelling of your legs. In the next, how many minutes we have? 1 minute we have. I'm going to try my best to show any of the things that you're having issues with. So here you go. You're seeing from the floor up. Okay. So this is the floor. This is the chair that I'm going to put my legs up on. And here I'll put a pillow or a bolster. And then I'm going to have the feet up. Okay. Or I'll show you with the bed. My bed here. See, there's a mattress bed here. So this is called Viparita Karni. I'm going to sit. So I usually say sit from the side rather than sit facing front, although it's not intuitively correct for you. You feel I should go from the front, but time and experience has taught me if you go from the side, you go one leg up, other one up, and then you sort of adjust so that when you're going back, you're flat. So you see, you have support in your lower back. So you can be a long time here. And then you adjust once you're here. So you see from the knees up, you are on the sofa like this. So you see from the knees to your feet, you're up, and then back is nicely comfortable, your lower back, and your chest and head, your back and your head are on the floor. Arms can be like this, wide. So you get nice lot of open space for breathing, Mary, as you like, shoulders roll back, and your feet are going to be happy, and your heart is going to be happy. It's really good for the heart. Yeah, the blood is coming. It's like an inversion, no? So the blood is nicely coming back up. The heart doesn't have to work extra. And then when you come out of the pose, always come out nicely, slowly, gently. Nobody know. You're not the president. You need to go somewhere right away. Always remember, be down to earth, be humble. Whenever you start getting sudden movements, you do remember, I'm also invincible. I'm not invincible. I need to be cautious. So then slowly you bring your feet, turn to your side, breathe the whole time, do your pelvic floor muscles, engage your pelvic floor muscles. You get a lot of strength and support. Take your arms, gently come up. No need for quick movements that will cause a strain or a sprain. Okay?
Thank you so
So-
much, Kadambari. It was very nice.
Welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. It was a pleasure. Feel free to get in touch with any other questions whenever you have them. Thank you. Anyone else want to share, or should we call it an evening?
Request if anyone has any questions, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask Kadambari.
And if you don't have questions, then there are some ways that you can just put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I guess there are like ways that you can in your
Yes,
chat.
please send your reactions to Kadambari so that she feel how beautiful the session was. We
And
just
even if
received a
it
message.
wasn't good, I am totally happy to receive that. So if you go to your those 3 red dots and you have the chat option, there is a send to everyone, or there is a send to any certain person. So if you like, you can do a send to everyone, so everyone can know whether you liked or didn't like. And then there's an emoji sign, and I'm putting a smiley there, and I've sent a smiley to everyone. So if you like, you can put some reaction there. Someone's put a heart. Thanks, Shivani. Love hearts. Who doesn't? And if there's, there are ways you can do that even without going to the chat. There are ways you can just put the 3 dots and put a thumbs up, put a heart, put a crying face. Okay, so I'm going to put a thumbs down for my audience who have suddenly gotten very mute. Okay, Shraddha says it was awesome session about breathing techniques and stretches. Thank you, Shraddha. You saved everyone a thumbs down, Shraddha, in good time. I was going to say some thumbs down things for the audience here. Okay, I'm putting a thumbs down from Gitanjali, who hasn't actually. Gitanjali spoke a little bit today, so we'll hold on. Where we have Sangeeta.
Kadambari, we have received a question from Dr. Pradnya.
Yes, Dr. Pradnya, tell me. Can you please give me to break patterns of subconscious thoughts which create our destiny? Wow, what a beautiful question. Yes, opinion. So would you like opinion, Pradnya-ji, or would you like a technique? Because opinion is words, techniques can actually have some action-based something that you can do. Both are helpful.
I believe Kadambari techniques always work because power is knowledge when you apply.
Wonderful, thank you. So does Pradnya, doctor says the same. So one technique, Dr. Pradnya, is to really humbly, with like a child, like a baby in the womb, praise, oh God, please keep me safe. I don't know how I'm here again. Please, I'm praying to you. So a lot of times my moms will send me like sonographies where the babies are in Namaste Mudra, like in their, some pose like this. So it's, again, how do we say the scriptures? Some part of the scriptures say that in the womb we are praying. But do we want to believe that scripture over another scripture which doesn't say anything about it? That's up to us. But the point I'm trying to make is that with that humility, we visualize we have so little, we have so little knowledge as in the womb, but we are emotionally aware that there is something, there is a design, there is a purpose, there is a rhythm. We are hearing the heartbeat. We are noticing that there are some sounds coming, and where I am is part of a larger entity. You see, where I'm a part, you have the cord and it's connected to someone while we play with it in the womb. Similarly, while we play in this world with our toys, whether it be our cell phones, whether it be our work choices, whether it be our relationships, today we are in a relationship with someone, tomorrow whatever, we go so easy with all the things we roles we play, right? And all the things we engage with. So to just say that even in that I'm a part, so should not be guilt that I made that choice and now suddenly I'm going to be shunned. Yeah. So I would say a relationship with your choice or your form of divine, God, goddess, whether in form or not, which does not have that fear and that guilt, which stops you from being intuitively aware. And therefore, your destiny will always be a balance. One is, so the technique is prayer. I'm basically trying to come to prayer, but a prayer which also takes a mood, a theme of freedom. It shouldn't be that you shouldn't be the one judging yourself. You see, oftentimes, because we get from our feedback from our family members or our friends that, or we hear someone talking about someone else, oh, how bad that she did that, or whatever. And we, from a young age, we carry these opinions that, oh, this is bad, this is good, this is. So a lot of masters have said this. I'm not the first. I'm sorry if if I'm saying anything wrong, but I'm trying my best to tell you that a lot of wise people have said that just surrender in a way which is very you, authentically you, and pray in that mood of no guilt, no fear, that let the destiny collaborate and combine. Anyone who you're inspired with in your life, if you think of collaborating with them, even if you get one opportunity of collaborating an idea or a work project or anything with them, you have so much excitement about it. There's so much inspiration because it's someone you look up to. So similarly, look up to someone in the realm of saints, wise sages, God, read about them, learn. Whoever you connect with, it could be Sant Tukaram, it could be Subhash Chandra Bose, right? It could be Gandhi, it could be some saints like Srila Prabhupada, whoever it is, right? Whoever has started something. And let's all of us once and for all get out of this whole mindset of religions are bad, institutions are bad, and anyone who ever started anything on those lines are not worth checking out. No, each and every person who has done anything in the spiritual realm, Naradji says in the Bhakti Shastras and the Sutras that we must not judge and we must not look at all with judgmental eyes, and we must not look at how this devotee is better than that devotee. We should always be, just like in the yoga field, we shouldn't compare this person can do this person cannot, and this school is better than that school. No, we have to learn. Everyone says we have to learn to be non-judgmental, equanimous. So that is the first technique, pray within this theme. And then the other technique is to love yourself. And how will you love yourself? If you spend time with yourself. Unless and until you spend time doing anything, you will not get in the habit of being called by it, right? If you go to one book every day at 5 p.m. and you go for 5 days, see the 6th day, automatically you will go to that book will call you because you've done it as a habit. So for 5 days, sit with yourself, say, I love my intuition. I love, it could be while you do your pranayama practice. It could be while you do your meditation practice, could be while you do your prayer, or it could be while you just sit and look at the stars, the trees, the birds. It is your time with yourself. It's your date with yourself, and in those you do it for 4-5 days. The 5th day, automatically it will call you. This your inner bliss, your inner being will call you. That there's a presence of you within you which gets dimmed because we're constantly being interactive with others. So that presence will start to shine, will start to call you. And from there, your intuition will become so strong that, you see what I meant? You see what I mean? That you will just, then that technique will show you more techniques. So I've given you 2 for now, and you will tell me 5 more later, which I will be so happy to learn from you. Those techniques, because they will come from you. They come from within you. Your revelations from your connection with yourself and God. Is that satisfactory, Dr. Pradnya? Shivani? Okay. Prayers to your Maharaj for the wisdom. Thank you. Prayers to you too.